Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm really excited about this spring cleaning series, and I'm going to kick off the series with cleansing the mind. So much happens in our heads, and sometimes we just need a little help in that area. So that's the topic we're going to dive into tonight. And then next Monday will be cleansing the body, and I'll kind of be focusing on things that we might use on our body and using cleaner products. I'm going to talk very briefly about a cleanse. Spring is just a really great time to cleanse in general. Think about cleaning areas of your house, kind of that will be my last one, cleansing the home. Products that you can use that are safe for the whole family, safe for pets, safe if you have kids crawling around on the floor, how to make your own household cleaners, how to get all that stagnant energy out of your house and just really invite spring in and get rid of all the old and things that aren't serving you. So I'm really excited about this series. It's been something that's kind of been brewing in my mind for, the last year or two. So I decided to just do it. So here we go. And just to give you a little bit of background about me, my name is Glenda Robichaux. I'm a wellness advocate for doTERRA, and I have been with doTERRA for 13 years. And it has changed my life and the way that my family, the way that we take care of ourselves, the way we take care of things in our home, way we take care of our dog. It just really has kind of gotten into every area of our life, and I love that. I also am trained in energy healing in both Reiki and healing touch. Then I also do something called the Aroma Touch technique, which is a series of essential oils along the spine and the feet. And I've also kind of started to combine some of the oils and the energy work into something that I'm calling aroma energy healing. And then I'm also an emotions coach in training. So if you're interested in an emotion coaching session or want to know more about that, let me know. I need a couple more practice sessions before I can get certified. But I really just have a passion for helping people find wellness and balance in their everyday lives. And yeah, that's just a little bit about me. All right. So what we are going to cover is emotions, feelings, and thoughts. How do they all work together? And then, of course, aromatherapy, how that comes into the picture, and then essential oils to the rescue and how to get started. So emotions. Emotions are chemical responses that occur in the body to both internal and external stimuli. Just going to say that again. Emotions are chemical responses that occur in your body to things that are happening in your outside world and things that are happening in your body. And emotions are like these little information carrying molecules that in our body bind to and react with our cell receptors. They get into our cells and they also impact cellular function and behavior. It's pretty powerful, isn't it? And what I believe is that at the root of all dis-ease in the body and illness, the root is an emotion that we didn't deal with, an emotion that we stuffed down. That's where I believe that all illness comes from in some form. All right, so that's an emotion. I just want to kind of piece out all of these things so you get an idea of where I'm headed. So emotions versus feelings. So feelings are the conscious experience sparked by emotions that are shaped by our perception. So feelings are our conscious experience sparked by our emotion, by that chemical reaction, excuse me, that is shaped by our perception. So what our experiences have been in the past, how we were raised, all of that. Excuse me. So that's emotions versus feelings. Then we're going to add thoughts into the picture. So thoughts, well, first of all, let's just talk about the definition of a thought. The definition of a thought is an idea or opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. And did you know that we have 70,000 thoughts a day? That is a lot. Now, thoughts constantly flow in our mind, and our feelings and our emotions interact with the thoughts that we're having. So that, I'm going to say that again. Feelings and emotions interact with our thoughts that we're having. So these three things can really start to kind of compound on each other and start to maybe, I know sometimes I feel like there's obviously 70,000 thoughts in my head a day. So many things happening in my mind. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to remember that. I want to remember that. And then add how you're feeling on top of that. Perhaps if it's a day where you're feeling kind of down and crappy, your thoughts are going to kind of, they're all coming together and it kind of creates a perfect storm. Hello, something in my throat because I'm just so excited about this topic. So we want to, oh, and I forget, I tried finding this statistic um, because there's so much happening subconsciously in our minds as well. So I'm really just talking about the things that we're conscious of tonight and those thoughts. So that's a lot to be happening. And I don't know if it takes some time to kind of train yourself to start to kind of listen to the thoughts and see, is it really negative? Is it positive? Like what is really happening in our minds? And that's where meditation can be helpful, and some other things that I will talk about at the end here. But just so you have kind of a grasp, we've got emotions, the chemical reactions, the feelings, our conscious perception of what's happening, and then our thoughts that are just going a mile a minute in our brain. So, what if we had a way to kind of slow it down or redirect it by using aroma? And that is where aromatherapy comes into play. It is number one, it's the fastest way to affect your mood. Inhaling essential oils can connect you deeper to your body, and the nose has a direct route to the olfactory bulb to the limbic system of your brain. And something else that, well, I think is really cool is that our body, our organs, all of our organs have scent receptors. So perhaps if the last few years have left you with a sniffer that's not working 100%, breathing in those essential oils, your body is still getting the effect because your organs have scent receptors that are going to use that. And the organ that has the most scent receptors is the heart. I just think that's really cool. So just by inhaling some essential oils, that is going to help kind of redirect your thought pattern, um, maybe help you calm down a little bit. And actually, let's do an exercise together. So I'm going to invite you, if you have an essential oil nearby, to grab it. And I'm going to grab Adaptive here. It's our calming blend. And I just want you to take a drop or two in your palm. And then I invite you to rub your palms together. Take a nice deep breath in. And what I'm encouraging you to do is inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and then repeat until you start to feel calmer and more collected. All right, so we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to hold it 2, 3, 4. Breathe out slowly 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. All right. This time I'm going to do it, so I'm not going to count. So we're going to breathe in, hold, breathe out. And I'm hoping that as you're breathing in that aroma, perhaps you're starting to feel your shoulders drop down. Maybe your mind is starting to calm. Maybe you feel it somewhere else in your body where it's just like a sigh, like your body's just taking a nice deep sigh and going, ah. So just keep breathing that in. You can do this for another minute. Think about how easy this would be to incorporate into your day. Perhaps if you have a desk job, you know, taking a break, I don't know, every hour, every 2 hours to just breathe in some oil. And perhaps if you're in an area that, essential oils are not welcome, just doing this breathing exercise. And what you can do is the brain is so awesome, is whatever your favorite aroma is, maybe it's lavender. As you're breathing in, pretend that you're breathing in the aroma of lavender. So recall that scent from your memory as you're breathing it in, as you're breathing and exhaling. So just calling in on the energy of the plant if you don't have essential oils with you, or if you work in an area where you can't use them. But really, in my mind, when I thought about the title for this class, Cleansing the Mind, all of a sudden I was like, wow, this is a huge topic. Like, why did I pick this? Like, and this is my first one in the series. But really, the more I thought about it, it's really about giving yourself that moment to just kind of drop down into your body, get out of your mind, or to try to clear your mind, just to kind of let go of the thoughts that are kind of circling. Perhaps you're ruminating on something, so it's just the same thing over and over again. So just really taking a moment to 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 just breathe, to just be with your breath can be very calming, very soothing, and help you feel calmer and more collected in the moment. So I want you to remember this exercise. And like I mentioned, when you're breathing in the essential oils, what it's doing is it's helping interrupt your thought pattern, and it's helping interrupt old emotional response patterns. So perhaps if you're already aware of an emotional response that you have and it's something that you want to work to let go of, grabbing and pairing with an essential oil can really help interrupt that and kind of create a new neural pathway. And then also this idea of aromatic anchors. So using scent. So if you think about perhaps when you smell cookies baking in the oven, you have memories of baking with your mom or your grandmother, or have some kind of memory, because scent anchors to memories. So this whole idea of an aromatic anchor is that you're using an essential oil and you're anchoring it to something that you want to kind of bring into your life. Um, what's really cool is that all the essential oils, they all pair with different emotions. So you can really get specific for what you're working on. And I'm trying to think of a good example. Um, for instance, let's just use wild orange. So wild orange is a very uplifting oil, very joyful. It's like sunshine in a bottle. So perhaps if you are feeling sad or dealing with something difficult and you want to be pulled out of that to a more happy place, you pull out your wild orange and you do the exercise we just did. You put a couple drops of oil in your palms, rub your palms together, and breathe in that wild orange. And you're anchoring thoughts of happiness to the wild orange. So then each time you smell it, it's helping bring that back quicker, to have that feeling of happiness kind of take over. So it's just kind of another tool to use for interrupting the thought patterns, especially the ones that we don't want to hold on to. And that's where this idea of cleansing the mind comes in, is we want to get rid of the thoughts that aren't serving us, because I can tell you 70 thoughts a day, there's a couple of those that aren't real positive. I know something I've been working on for myself, and we can be really mean to ourselves in ways that we wouldn't be to other people. So the more that you can lean on the essential oils to help interrupt that and bring in what you really want and what you want to nurture and grow in your mind, is really cool. So with all of that being said, when it comes to your essential oils, you really want to make sure that you're using a really good quality essential oil, because unfortunately, there's a lot of crap in the marketplace. When I started with doTERRA 13 years ago, People were like, What are you doing? What do you have?" And now they're at the dollar store, they're at Target, they're everywhere. Um, and essential oils are aromatic compounds that are found in plants. So when we distill an essential oil from a plant, we're taking the chemistry of the plant, kind of like the immune system of the plant. And essential oils have their own chemical structure that unfortunately a lot of that can be created in a lab, and that's where you're going to get your fragrances and synthetics. So you really want to make sure that you're using something pure and potent. So that is where doTERRA comes into the picture. And I just want to give you a little bit of background on the company and the quality. So doTERRA means is Latin for gift of the earth. And I love that because when you think about all these beautiful plants that we're using, they really are gifts of the earth. And essential oils are not regulated by the government. And so doTERRA wanted to make sure that people understood when you're using doTERRA, you're getting therapeutic benefits. So ours are labeled certified, pure, tested grade. And our essential oils go through extremely rigorous testing to make sure that there's no synthetics, no fillers, no pesticides, nothing harmful in that essential oil, that it's only the plant. Um, and we work directly with our farmers. There's no middleman. So the oils are tested when they're received, they're bottled, and then they're tested again to make sure that they haven't been tampered with in any way. doTERRA is the largest essential oil distributor in the world, and we have been, doTERRA has been in business for 15 years. And what is so awesome and sets us apart from some of our competitors is that we do something called co-impact sourcing. And this is really kind of the heart of the company. And what I love about sharing doTERRA with people is that we are, like I mentioned, sourcing direct, working with farmers and growers. Majority of our oils are coming from underdeveloped countries. And so we're making sure that we want to take care of them. We want them to have fresh water. We want them to have schools for their children, clinics that they can go to. So we're working directly with the communities and seeing what they need and how we can provide for them so they can grow these beautiful plants that then we get to use for our health and wellness. So it really benefits, I like to say it benefits both sides of the bottle. And there is a website, www.sourcetou.com, and doTERRA is so transparent that on the bottom of all single oils, there is a lot number, which you're not going to see on my camera, but that lot number, you can go to that website, sourcetou.com, and enter that number, and it will show you if you're into the testing and want to see that, you can see that. There's also really great videos on that website of all the different communities where we're sourcing oils. And it's just really cool to be able to see the people growing our plants and see how we've lifted up their community. Um, and then also the supply chain management is part of that co-impact sourcing piece, as well as making sure that what we're doing is sustainable to Mother Earth. So some of them, some of our oils that we do the co-impact sourcing, they might have a more social impact or an environmental impact. And something that I think is really cool too is our environmental impact, because a lot of the times people will say, well, I can't believe you use oils. It uses so much plant material. But when you're doing it ethically, it's really not. So one of my favorite stories to tell is about our black spruce oil. We get our black spruce from the boreal forest, and the logging industry, when they take down trees, they shear off all the branches and twigs and leave it in a giant heap. Well, the earth can't break down that giant pile of plant material that they've left behind. So doTERRA comes in and we take the plant material that's left behind from the logging industry and we distill essential oil from it. And what's even cooler about black spruce is that it's a closed loop, meaning that to distill the essential oil from the plant material, we're creating the power to run this distillery. So there's no energy being used. We're getting energy from the plant. We're able to distill the oil, and then we're able to make that whole process happen. And I think that's just one of many stories. And I think that's awesome. So co-impact sourcing, our mission with that is to source the best and help the most. Then we have our Healing Hands Foundation, and you can learn more about that at doTERRAhealinghands.org. And the Healing Hands Foundation is all about humanitarian work, making sure, again, that we're lifting up communities that need help. The mission is to empower people worldwide to be healthy, safe, and self reliant. And we do a lot in areas of trying to end trafficking of children, um, reforestation projects in Hawaii and Maui. I mean, the projects just, there's so many. So it's a cool website to check out if you want to learn more about that. What's also really cool is that you can just add a donation onto your order for the Healing Hands Foundation. And if you're interested, we have something called the 25 Collective, where you can commit to doing $25 donation on your order. And then you kind of get to be in the know of some of our special products going on, as well as getting first dibs on sourcing trips. And that is one of my dreams, to go on a sourcing trip, to go to one of these beautiful places where we get our plants, our essential oils from. So that is a little bit about doTERRA and just what, gives me a warm fuzzy. It's really important to vote with your dollars. It's really important to know what the company that you're giving your money to is doing, no matter what the product is. So just something I encourage you to think about. So then, because our oils are so pure and potent, there's 3 different ways that we can use the majority of them. The first way is aromatic, and that's what I talked about so far, is just being able to inhale that essential oil, using a diffuser to diffuse it into the air. If you have a crabby household, just sneak some citrus oils in the diffuser and watch everything kind of start to, fizzle out and everyone be happy. It's a great way to open airways. We're moving into a new season, which always kind of sometimes brings on seasonal threats. Excuse me. So it's a great go-to too to help open the airways, especially if you're having any respiratory issues. Great to freshen the air and the environment that you're in. If you have pets, it's a great thing to diffuse. They stink. The second way to use essential oils is topical. And what's so cool again is it's just really applying the oil where you're feeling some discomfort. So perhaps if you have some head tension, applying some peppermint along your forehead. If your tummy's kind of talking to you, rubbing some oil on your belly. If you did a really tough workout, putting some oil on your shoulders or muscles that are talking to you. So it's just kind of, where you've got pain, put some oil on it. A couple things to remember though, you want to keep oils out of your eyes and ears, and any other sensitive areas. And it's really best to use some fractionated coconut oil. So that is what we call a carrier oil. And it's like jojoba oil, olive oil, um, those would be other examples. And what that's going to do is it's going to help penetrate into the skin more because it's thicker and heavier. Because an essential oil is just an aromatic compound. So if you just put lavender on your hand, the majority of it is flashing off into the air, and that's what you're smelling. So when you use a carrier oil, that's helping kind of trap the essential oil and helping it penetrate your skin. As well as when let's say you've got some shoulder and neck tension, perhaps you sit at a computer all day and have some soreness there. You only need like a drop or two of oil. So if you were going to use some peppermint, you only need 1 to 2 drops. But if you're trying to get this whole shoulder and neck area, using some coconut oil helps you get that area, helps it spread out more, as well as helping it penetrate again into your skin. And then there's a couple of oils that can be really hot on the skin, such as oregano, cinnamon, clove, thyme. So those you are definitely going to want to dilute, um, because you don't want your skin to feel all burny and hot. uh, let's see what else. And citrus oils. Now that we're finally moving into we're going to see the sun more. Citrus oils are photosensitive, meaning that if you put on wild orange and you go out in the sun, it's going to burn. And so you want to be careful with those citrus oils with being exposed to the sun or tanning beds for that matter. So that is topical use. And then internal, not all of our oils are best served taking internally. So what's really cool is on the essential oil bottle, if you can take it internally, there will be a supplemental facts box on the bottle. That will be your indicator that you can take this oil internally. So this is geranium, and it has the supplemental facts right on there. So that means, okay, I can take this one internally. Whereas Balance is one of our blends, that supplemental facts box is not on the bottle. So we would not take this one internally. The oils that we can use internally, especially citrus oils and mint oils, they're great in water. So you can put a drop in water, and I love to add lemon to my drinking water. You want to make sure that you're drinking out of glass, because plastic, well, there's this really cool trick. Not really cool, but it gets the message across. If you take a styrofoam cup and you put a drop of lemon essential oil on the styrofoam cup, within a minute, that lemon oil will have made a hole in the styrofoam cup, because it's leaching through the chemicals. So if you put lemon oil in a plastic bottle, it's going to leach the chemicals out of the plastic and put it in your drinking water. So you do not want to drink that. So you want to make sure that you're drinking out of glass when you use essential oils, or like those stainless steel bottles are fine too. You can also add essential oils to a veggie cap. So there's some oils that really help with inflammation in the body, like frankincense comes to mind. So you can put a couple of drops of frankincense in a little veggie cap that doTERRA sells them, but you could also find them like at the co-op or Whole Foods. And then you would take it and swallow it like you would a pill. You can also take essential oils under your tongue. Copaiba is really great also for inflammation in the body. And it has a mild taste. Whereas frankincense, although I like that one, but some people don't like the taste of it. But under the tongue is another great way to really get it into your system fast. And then also some of them you can use in food. So I like to use lemon oil, like when I make tuna salad, or perhaps if you bought some jarred salsa, adding a drop of lime kind of brings it back to life. I like to use them in salad dressings. So those are just put a drop. I like to add either like rosemary or basil to hummus. So those are just a couple ideas too that you can use it in food, keeping in mind, again, that the essential oils are extremely potent and powerful. So the citrus oils are more forgiving, but if you are going to be using like basil or rosemary or oregano in cooking, it's best just to put a toothpick in the bottle and kind of drag the toothpick through the food. You can always add more, you can't take it out. So those are the 3 ways to use essential oils. Again, this is really specific to doTERRA because of the quality. So with other essential oils in the marketplace, I would definitely read the bottle, because sometimes it will say don't put on your skin. And to me, that, excuse me, that is a red flag. Like, it is a plant. If I can't put it on my skin, what is in that bottle? But again, so you want to know the quality and the source of your oils, and these 3 ways to use are specific to doTERRA. So then I just wanted to go over some amazing products that we have in our lineup that really also help with the mind and mood and emotions and all the things that we've been talking about tonight. And our adaptive system is one of my favorites, one of my go-tos, one of my must-haves. So in our adaptive lineup, we have the Adaptive Oil Blend, which comes in a 15 ml bottle. We also have it that comes in a roller ball. And in the roller ball, it's diluted with coconut oil. So I like to keep that one in my purse. I'm somewhat of an anxious driver sometimes, so applying that on my pulse points before I'm getting ready to drive really helps. So I make sure that I have that one on me. The adaptive capsules are a mixture of some plant materials, some lavender essential oil that are really great at helping combat stress, tension, and occasional anxious feelings. And I don't know about anyone else, but occasionally, I would say more like every day, especially over the last few years, things have changed and this has become a stressful place to be. So I like to take an adaptive capsule every day. They're you can take one in the morning. I have started to take mine in the evening, and I find that it also helps me sleep better. So, one of my other favorite things to do is to take a bath. So, you can add 3 to 4 drops of the calming blend to your Epsom salts for a bath. Like I mentioned, you can roll the adaptive touch onto your wrist and temples wherever you feel you need to, gain composure or kind of release the stress and anxious feelings. Taking 1 to 2 drops of lavender in a glass of water can also help reduce anxious feelings. We also have a blend called Cheer, which I'll touch on in another slide, but that one is really great too to help promote feelings of optimism. And then we have our Balance blend. That one can also be really soothing, really nice to help you relax at night, putting some on your pillow. I like to start my day off with Balance by putting some on my feet. It's our grounding blend. It's got a lot of tree oils in it. So it really just helps to kind of get you rooted in your day. One other thing I should probably mention is what oils are in the adaptive blend, Glenda? Well, let me tell you. Wild orange is in there, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum, and it's so lovely. It's really lovely. One other thing I should mention, in case you are in a job or an area where you have to wear a mask, putting a little bit of oil, just getting some on your finger and rubbing it in the mask is also really nice too. So um, nice to breathe it in and help again with those stressful feelings if you work in a job where you have to wear a mask. One other of our newest oil blends that I had to pop in here is our Shinrin Yoku. This is a beautiful, beautiful blend. Shinrin Yoku is Japanese for forest bathing. And around the 80s, there was some research done on forest bathing and the effects of just being in nature and what that does to our bodies and blood pressure and all of the things. So doTERRA created this blend. When you're walking through a forest, the trees are giving off these phytoncides and terpenes. So you're breathing that all in as you're in nature. And so what doTERRA did was kind of research what was in the air of a forest, in terms of the chemical constituency of the air, and created a blend with those same terpenes in it. So you're really bringing nature to you. So if, you're inside all day, diffusing Shinrin Yoku is actually kind of giving you the effects of being out in nature and breathing in that air. It creates a really calming, grounding environment. It's very refreshing. It smells amazing. It contributes to an energizing and rejuvenating experience when combined with the creation of a green space in the home. It's inspired by the health promoting practice of forest bathing. And I have been diffusing this one at night, actually, in our bedroom, because it's so lovely and I want to be breathing in all of that goodness. There's a lot of research out there about forest bathing. So I encourage you, if you're interested, to do a little Googling and check it out. And sometimes also I'll diffuse at night in our bedroom. I'll actually do like 3 or 4 drops of Shinrin Yoku and then a couple drops of our Serenity blend, which is our restful blend. And they go together really nicely and just make for a magical night of sleep. And I mean, I have an oil for that. There's so many. And a lot of the times people ask me, well, what oil would be good for, helping with my anxious feelings? And a lot of the times I tell people that it's really whatever oil, whatever you like the smell of, number one. I think anytime that you're intentional with taking a deep breath and breathing in that oil, it's going to be of service to you. So I encourage you to find the oil that really speaks to you. But um, just to name a few here, all of the citrus oils are amazing for helping. All the citrus oils in general, citrus oils have a very cleansing nature to them. So to think about kind of cleansing the mind, citrus oils are really kind of number one. Lemon, lime, wild orange, bergamot. We have green mandarin. I know I'm forgetting one, but tangerine. So lots of citrus oils to choose from. Mint oils can also be calming. So peppermint, spearmint, basil, rosemary, patchouli is actually a member of the mint family. Then we've got our tree oils. So perhaps you need help feeling rooted in the earth, think about trees. When wind comes, they kind of sway, they kind of go with what's happening. So if you need a little bit of that in your life, tree oils like frankincense, cedarwood, arborvitae, copaiba, and sandalwood would be incredible. And then there's our blends, and we have amazing blends. So I've mentioned a few of them already: Adaptive, Shinrin Yoku, Balance, Serenity. We also have Citrus Bliss, Citrus Bloom, Breathe. Want to open up those airways. We also have a yoga blends, Align, Anchor, and Arise. And then the floral oils can also be helpful too. I was getting to the point where I was listing every oil that we had, but lavender, geranium, magnolia, jasmine, ylang ylang, all of those are going to be very soothing. And then I couldn't not touch on these are our emotional aromatherapy line of oils, and we have peace, cheer, passion, forgive, console, yes. Oh, and motivate. My Zoom bars over the top, so I didn't see the motivate. And these blends have been put together lovingly by doTERRA just to really help you with what it's saying. So perhaps, you know, thoughts that are going through your mind are not kind about yourself. Excuse me. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself, or maybe you need to forgive someone else. So forgive is a beautiful blend to help with that. That's our renewing blend. And forgive is a great blend. It's a mixture of herbs and grasses. And then there's console. Console is a lot of tree oils and a lot of florals, and that's really going to be a comforting blend. If you have some grief, if you've lost a job, lost a family member, a friend, someone close to you, um, whatever you might have lost in the last few years, or console is going to be like that warm blanket. And then there's peace. That's our reassuring blend. That has some mints, some florals. There's some vetiver in there. That blend is really great too for helping again at night to kind of let the mind calm, just kind of put all those thoughts to the side so you can get some restful sleep. Then at the top, there's our motivate, and that is a mixture of mints and citrus. So if it's the morning and you've got a long to-do list and you feel like you're dragging ass and you need a little something to get you moving, motivate is great to put in the diffuser, or again, put on your pulse points, or do that breathing exercise, just putting some drops in your palm and breathing it in and just really helping get you geared up and ready to tackle your to-do list. Then there's cheer. And cheers our uplifting blend, and that is going to be a combination of spices and citrus. So it's kind of a spicy citrus blend, and a great one to diffuse. Again, perhaps if the household is feeling a little crabby or sad, great one to pop in the diffuser. And then our last one is passion, and that's our inspiring blend. So perhaps you've got a project that you're working on. Maybe you need a little more creativity. Passion is a great one to use. It's going to be a blend of spices and herbs and grasses, and it smells heavenly. So these are also really great. And then you can see in the middle of the circle here, perhaps you don't really maybe looking for at the circle and seeing like, oh, that's right. I need something comforting. You can see that, console, the comforting blend, but then the comforting also comes in with the forgive. So if you're not sure what you want to grab, it's helpful to look at this circle, and that can kind of lead you to which blend might be helpful for you in that moment. And that is our emotional line, emotional aromatherapy line. And this line comes in 5 ml bottles, but it also comes in roller balls that are already diluted with some coconut oil. And again, I think it depends if you're more of a person that likes to diffuse, you'd want to get the 5 mls. Um, if you like to use roll-ons because they're just easy, you can grab those too, and they're all sold individually as well if you just want to try one. Or you can get all of them in a little kit all together. So, kind of wrapping up with our idea of cleansing the mind, I just have some other ideas for you to consider. And I love this picture because it made me smile. But just some other ideas, aside from aromatherapy, is positive affirmations, putting post it notes around the house. We have some in our bathroom, putting a post it note on the bathroom mirror, just reminding you how awesome you are, or maybe reminding you of a funny memory, or just really something that lifts you up and gives you that positive nudge. Journaling can also be helpful. If your mind is just going 1,000 miles a minute and you just need to do a brain dump, just writing it all down on paper. I know that helps me sometimes, especially when my to do list feels like um, too big. I like to write, I just kind of brain dump on the page, and then I go through and prioritize which things have to get done versus which things could wait for another day, be pushed off, or it just kind of helps me prioritize, but also kind of see it all as well. And then there's a rank anchoring with aroma, like I talked about before, and also pairing that positive affirmation when you're smelling the oil can help with that anchoring process as well. Walking outside. When you sit still sometimes, um, you might get stuck in your thoughts because you're not moving. So just getting out and taking a walk can help move all those thoughts and emotions through you. Because otherwise they just kind of if we're stagnant, our thoughts can get stagnant too. Another idea, although it's been an amazingly warm winter, is walking around a plant nursery. So sometimes in the winter, I will just go over to Bachman's and walk around all the plants, or going to like the Como Conservatory if you're in Minnesota, and St. Paul is really lovely. So just getting around some plants when we can't be around them outside with the weather. Taking a bath, adding some oils to your bath, doing something creative, coloring, drawing, painting. I like to make jewelry, just whatever your creative process is, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to do that creative process. And then I also just wanted to say that, sometimes we need an outside source. So seeking additional help is always something to consider as well. So, in case you are not yet a member of doTERRA and you're like, wow, Glenda, this was awesome, I would love to help you get started. Membership is free. You get 25% off retail every time you purchase in that first year. You get free shipping over 100 PV. So every product has a point value. So our promotions are based on that point value, and the free shipping comes in with over 100. There are no hidden fees. There's no minimums. When you sign up for a membership, um, you can buy whenever you want. We also have something called the Loyalty Rewards Program, which is like a monthly subscription where if that's your jam, awesome. Then you get to earn some free product points. And then we also have the items that I've put on this slide here are grouped together for greater savings than buying them individually. And one of the things, since we were talking about cleansing the mind, this Aroma Essentials kit is just a great way to get started if you're new to essential oils, if you want to get them in your home, if you see yourself diffusing them a lot. It's got some beautiful blends in it that really help with the mind, and some of them that I talked about. So this kit comes with peppermint, wild orange, adaptive, balance, breathe, cheer, citrus bloom, on guard, northern escape, and serenity. So it's just a really beautiful collection. And then also, I absolutely love And wow, I'm just realizing the oils in that picture are not the oils that I wrote down. Well, I love that diffuser. So that diffuser comes with the oils that I have listed. Don't pay attention to the oils that are there in the bottles. And that kit is $165. And it's 125 PV, so it qualifies you for free shipping. The other thing I mentioned tonight was our adaptive system. So if that's something that you think might be helpful for you, it comes with the 15 mil, the roller ball of adaptive, and the adaptive capsules, and that's $93 at 80 PV. So you just add a few more things on there, and you'll be at free shipping in no time. And then Serenity, we have a Serenity sleep system, and I touched briefly on the Serenity blend. I do put that one in my diffuser with the Shinrin Yoku. But this system is incredible, and that's another piece of, our mind is making sure that we're getting enough sleep at night. So this Serenity stick with valerian oil that I put on my wrists and the back of my neck before I climb into bed. I take two of the Serenity gel caps, and then I have the Shinrin Yoku and some Serenity in the diffuser, and I sleep like a baby. And I actually wake up feeling refreshed the next day. So those are just some ideas for things that if you're getting started that you might want to consider. We also have the option of you can build your own, like you're not tied into starting with a kit. You can get whatever you would like. I do like the kits because again, there's added savings to the grouping of products, but you can start with whatever you'd like. So if some of the oils tonight that I talked about speak to you, you can get started with those. And then just a little shout out, this is a promotion that I will be, of course, posting this recording. So this promotion is valid for March 2024. So when you get started with that 100 PV order, you're going to get a lavender touch for free. And our touch line means that it's in a roller ball and it's diluted with coconut oil. And again, lavender, all things calming, calming the mind, calming the skin, great for cuts, scrapes, and burns. Just a very soothing oil. Great one to have on hand. If you get started and your order is 150 PV or more, you get the lavender touch, but then you also get to choose a gift from you can get our foaming hand wash, which is scented in the citrus bloom. You get toothpaste. We have incredible toothpaste. I'll be talking more about that one with cleansing our body next week. And that has our On Guard oil blend in it, our protective blend, and then one with our super mint oil. Or you can get a diffuser. And then if you're like, wow, I want all of the things and your order is 200 PV or more, you're going to get our citrus bliss for free along with the other things. So this is just for new people to doTERRA. There's a little QR code there on the screen. If you want to scan that, that will take you to a shopping cart that has the Aroma Essentials kit from the previous slide in there, but you can take that out. You can add more things, but that QR code already has the promo code for the freebies in there. If not, if you want to start with something different, just make sure you grab the promo code that's on my screen here, because that will help you get the freebies. And if you, perhaps if someone else shared this recording with you, please get with them to place your order because this QR code is tied to me. You want to make sure that you're working with whoever shared this video with you so that they get a little something for helping share doTERRA with you as well. But if I have shared this with you, please use that QR code, or please feel free to reach out to me and I can help get you started. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love to talk about this stuff. I could talk for hours about essential oils and about wellness and just all the holistic yumminess that's available to us in our world, and just living a more holistic lifestyle. So I offer a range of services, again, from essential oil education, customized essential oil blending, aroma energy healing sessions, and emotion coaching. And if any of these are of interest to you, please feel free to reach out. I've got my website posted there, thechefswife.live, my email, glenda@thechefswife.live, and my phone number. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you take away from this something that helps you cleanse your mind when you're in a moment of chaos. And I hope to see you next week. Thanks so much. Until next time.